This episode of the podcast is brought to you by our partner, Audible.
Yes, it is. So we are partnered with Audible. That means that if you are looking just to check it out, you don't want to put your card in and just take the dive. You can get 30 days for free on us. If you go to audibletrial.com/JATG or click the link down below, you'll be taken there. You can sign up for 30 days for free and just test it out. Like there's a lot of stuff on there that you can get for free, a lot of Audible exclusives. But what I really like about Audible is that out of the hundreds and thousands of audiobooks that they have, if you decide to purchase something, that is yours forever. Like if you decide not to carry on your subscription or you want to take a break or whatever it is, you can always go back and listen to that book whenever you want through the app on the internet. Doesn't matter because it's yours. So once again, you can get that for 30 days for free on us if you go to audibletrial.com/JATG.
All right, we are live.
Renaissance for today.
Johnny and the Greg, we are
Cool.
back at it again. Greg, how you doing, sir?
Good. I'm looking forward to this week. I start my new job this week. So
Yes, you do.
it's
You
gonna
start
be
your new job.
it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you
Yep.
nervous? Do you have to walk into the office and stuff?
Well, yeah, I gotta go to the office 3 days this week. The nervous is more, it's a mix of
First day of
um,
school?
yeah, like first day of school kind of stuff, but then there's also a little bit of like, why did they pick me? Why am I so special kind of stuff? But that's not the case. Did you click the oh yeah,
Live?
there we go.
Yeah,
I
we're
got
live.
it. Never mind. We're good. Yeah, I got it. It
Do you
says,
have
yeah.
to wear a suit or anything? Shirt and tie?
No. It's like business casual. So like
Oh, okay.
I'll be mostly doing like slacks and polo kind of
Polos.
stuff.
Polos.
Yeah. Yeah, which I'm comfortable in. That's totally fine. I spent most of my career teaching
Yeah.
out polos and
Okay.
long sleeve shirts that I roll up to my forearms kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, that'll be fun. That's cool. It's fun. You know what's fun?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. What?
What's fun
What
is
else?
football's back, sir.
It is. It is back. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about your Bears after two preseason games?
I feel actually pretty okay, let me put it this way. I'm cautiously optimistic always, but I'm excited because it's the new season.
Mhm.
And I think this is the first time I would say within maybe 7 years where I feel like we don't have to play a perfect game to compete and even win.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Like we have the ability to make a mistake here and there. I mean, because I always thought that for us to compete, not even win, for us to compete, we had to play a perfect game.
Right.
And now I feel
Mhm.
like we can hang with anybody. I don't know if we're definitely not gonna win every game, but I think we can hang with anybody that we play. So I
Okay.
should be fun, should be interesting. I watched your boy. God, it sickens me that it just seems like you guys just know how to do the quarterback thing. Like it's amazing. It's
I mean,
hats off to you guys.
yeah, well, and I mean, we've had different GMs, we've had different coaches, but it seems to be like that's just the Green Bay way, is finding those quarterbacks and making it happen. I mean, he's is he the highest paid quarterback or highest paid player? I can't remember.
Quarterback, I believe.
Quarterback. Yeah,
I
I
believe.
think so.
Actually, you know what? I don't know if it's the highest paid player. Let's just go with highest paid quarterback would usually be the
For
highest
sure.
paid player.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would assume that.
So, and he was in for one series for a touchdown, and they're like, "Okay, you're done for today. Go sit down."
Yeah. Yeah. Looks good.
The rest of the stuff looked pretty good. I usually tend to, when I'm watching football, I tend to key in on like the D line the most.
How do you
Um,
feel?
it looks pretty good. I
Yeah.
mean, at the same time, you got to remember we're playing Cleveland, which I shouldn't be too hard on Cleveland anymore. They're better than they used to
Actually,
be.
Cleveland has one of the better defensive and offensive lines, like top
Yeah.
10.
Mhm.
So,
Um, so with that in mind, I was like, okay. I mean, again, it's very, very early. Everybody's still trying for
of
spots.
course, of course.
But out of the people that are like working for spots
Yeah.
and like just trying to make the team, you're like, it looks good.
Yeah.
So,
What I always look at in the preseason, because a lot of people say the preseason doesn't matter. The results at the scoreboard doesn't matter.
mhm,
The results of how you get there, in my opinion, do. I want to see like what I've always I watched actually today this morning on NFL Network, Green Bay and Cleveland. So I watched
mhm,
it yesterday. I was watching the Bears, but I watched Green Bay and Cleveland. And what I'm always impressed by Green Bay is they don't make the little mistakes. Like they don't do
right.
false starts. There's not a fumble center
Mhm.
exchange between the quarterback. There's not offsides.
Wait,
There's not
yeah.
holding a lot. There's not pass interference. So they're doing the little things right, and those are the things that I look for.
Mhm.
And I can pleasantly say that this is the first time I watched a Bear game the last 2 weeks where I think we had one penalty all game. You
Okay.
know,
All
so
right.
yeah, so and it looks like our this rookie quarterback we got, he looks good. I'm not gonna say great. It's the
Mhm.
preseason, but he looked when he dropped back, he looked like he knew what he was doing.
And how much
So
is he playing? Do they
I'm
got him in there
encouraged.
for more than one series or
Yeah,
they?
yeah, he was in two series basically.
Okay. Okay.
So he got enough work. He looked great. He made some throws that holy shit, I couldn't believe he made those. Um I'm encouraged. Now, I don't know what that's going to be, but
Are you watching Hard Knocks training
oh,
camp
of
with the Bears?
course. Did you watch Hard Knocks?
I finally got to watch the first episode,
Okay.
and it one that show is always quality. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, they
it
do a really good job.
and it really does make you root for whatever team they're featuring. Um, Mostly, watching the Jets preseason last year, I was kind of like,
Yeah,
how's this gonna go?
yeah.
But for the most part, yeah, and we've covered this. Like, I'm the weird Packer fan that doesn't absolutely despise the Bears.
Right.
So,
Well,
um,
I don't despise the Packers. I've told you 100 times on this podcast, I highly respect them.
yeah,
It doesn't mean I don't want to kick your ass that day, but
yeah, totally.
but yeah. Um, but the one thing I felt was cringy, and it's in about we're talking about Hard Knocks,
Hard
is
Knocks,
when
yeah.
they introduced Caleb with the soundboard of the Chicago Bulls, how Michael Jordan used to come out.
Oh yeah,
That was
yeah,
cringy to me, and it was almost a little bit like, dude, don't do this to him.
yeah. Set him
Like,
up for that
yeah,
level
come on.
of
Like here, and I was thinking about it. What would he have to do, okay, to even be neck and neck with Jordan? And Greg, he even if he won 8 Super Bowls and passed Brady,
yeah,
he would not be by Jordan. Like Jordan's this. I mean, whether
yeah.
it's
He's
he's almost becoming like, especially in Chicago, he's Paul Bunyan, man. You
yeah,
can't.
yeah. He's mythic. Like you
Yeah,
can't
you can't. Like
because
like it's saying like, hey, if someone were to tell you and I, hey, you guys are the Michael Jordan of podcasting, that's like shit.
yeah.
Awesome. Like that's like the elite standard.
You bring up a good point. Like, how does can anybody anymore get to that level?
I
And
really don't think so.
well, and I don't think it can happen in Chicago again.
No.
Like, it has to happen to a different market.
Well,
And
maybe Kansas City.
but maybe like, but they're not there yet. I
Now,
think
when you're talking
for
about Jordan, are you talking about the world. Like I could go to a village in China or Africa and say, "You Michael Jordan?" They most likely would shake their head.
Exactly.
Is that what
So
you mean by that?
yes,
Or okay, okay.
to get to that Jordan level,
Yeah.
you got to go to a city or a small market that at the time is struggling sports wise. Bring in, like you said, like kind of that highly sought after rookie
Yeah.
who blows up,
Yes.
but then does a bunch of shit outside of that sport.
Yes.
Like creates not just a shoe line because the shoe game has been done now, but
Yes.
does something else
Right.
to
Yeah.
that level to make it go, whoa. I mean, I don't know how anybody does that. I mean, sports drinks have been done. I mean, like,
Yeah. I
what
don't
do you
think
do?
I think you're right. I don't think you could ever, I don't think anybody could ever get to that level that Michael's at.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if you want to go to different sports, I guess there's the Tiger Woods, but when Tiger was in his prime, they were calling him the Michael Jordan of golf.
Yeah. Yeah.
They weren't
Like,
calling like so
I don't know
you're
how you could
yeah.
get,
You can't. And
I don't know if
all I'm saying
anybody
is to
can
put
again.
that on a rookie who,
Right.
look, is super talented. And I actually really enjoyed listening to him. He seems like a very, he seems intentional. He thinks about things. He's one of those people where he just doesn't do the whole, I just got brave, the usual athlete rhetoric where they're
Go
just
out there,
like,
give 110%,
yeah,
be with my team.
yeah,
You got to give all, you got to give it all, got to give
yeah,
that 100.
exactly.
Yeah, doing
Brandon
that.
Fraser. Yes,
Yes,
yes.
exactly.
Very nice job. Yeah, he's not that guy. He's the guy where he will actually, if you ask him a question, he'll go, that's a really good question. Give me a second. And he'll take
Yeah.
2, 3 seconds
Mhm.
and then he'll give you what he thinks. Um, so I like him. It's just, man, that's like that's such a mount. That's not even like comparing him to Brady. You're comparing him to Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And like, that's just not, and I know what Hard Knocks was doing because if this guy hits, if this guy is half of Tom
Right.
Brady in terms of championships, we're gonna be like you guys were with Favre when it was
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
That's
Like
how Chicago is gonna be.
if he can bring Chicago out of the basement,
Yeah,
is really what they're looking to do.
yeah.
Um, and honestly,
So,
I hope he does because like
oh,
when
you and
when
me
the when
both,
the
brother.
when the Bears are good, the Packers, it's really a driving thing. It's
I agree. I
like they
agree.
make each other better in that respect. So
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm
yeah.
down for it. I hope he does well.
Thank you. Uh, have you looked at our division?
Like I've been a
Okay,
little preoccupied for the last 6 months,
that's true.
so
That's
I
true.
haven't
So you haven't been
haven't
digging through.
not really not a lot of NFL stuff, but
Can't talk, John. I'm looking at the football. Yeah, our division is going to be a bloodbath. Like everybody on in our division is going to be good.
oh
So
good.
it's going to come
Okay.
down to a war of attrition. It's just whoever's left standing. It's going to be God, I'm not looking forward to playing any of you guys.
Do you think our division is going like is one of us gonna be in the Super Bowl or
Okay, NFC, so we're talking NFC.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't think the Vikings or the Bears are there yet, but I think the Vikings are sneaky good. So you
Mhm.
cannot take them
You
lightly.
can't yeah.
I do believe the let's see, I would say Packers, Lions, Niners. Those are my top three. I don't think
Yeah.
anybody else can beat those three.
Hmm.
So we'll see. I mean, anything can happen, and injuries are always a great
Oh
equalizer. But
gosh, yeah.
but
Well,
if
and
everybody
that's the
stays
first
healthy,
thing. It's the
yeah, if
first thing I
everybody,
saw. I cued into on Hard Knocks was when that offensive
oh
lineman
yeah,
went down.
Theo Bennett,
Theo Bennett, yeah, you're just like,
yeah,
oh, like you
yeah.
could see him just tear it like
Oh
on the
yeah, and a
line.
big man like that doing the splits, no
Ah,
good, no good.
it's yeah,
Have
doing
you?
splits when he doesn't want to be.
Were you an offensive lineman?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, yeah.
Offense and defensive lineman? You play both ways, right?
We did. When I got hurt my senior year, before we knew it was a broken leg, um, they're like, "Hey, Greg, we're gonna move you from you're gonna be a defensive specialist now." Pretty much saying I was losing my starting offensive lineman job because it was too much to do both
Yeah,
ways.
yeah.
Um, and so they brought in another guy who did well. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Dan did a great job. But yeah, I had one coach that tried to make it sound like a demotion, but he was such a dick.
Yeah.
And then my head coach was like, "Here's what we're doing. Like, here's why." And I'm like, "It makes sense to me, man.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do."
Yeah.
But yeah, I did play like for most of the time playing football. I was offensive tackle, defensive tackle.
Okay.
Well,
Did you ever tear your groin, or did you ever tear your quad or your hamstring? You ever?
I never tore anything.
Okay.
I did do some unexpected splits every now and again, but it never tore. It
Never tore.
never
Did you ever
tweaked.
do it in martial arts?
Um, nope. The most
Okay.
ankles were kind of mine, like
Your thing?
roll an ankle. I mean, I
Okay.
would do that. That was the most major martial arts stuff I did. But for a tall guy, fairly flexible.
Yeah. Well, that's good
I could do the splits. I couldn't do like the Van Damme
because of
splits
your big legs and
and
karate.
karate. Yeah. Um, I could get really close to those,
Yeah.
but the other ones where like you're facing one way, I don't know what they call those. Those I could always pretty much do.
Yeah.
Um, so the couple times I did get stretched out in that respect, I remember we played a lot of games in the rain, and I did slip, and I went down, and
Right.
everybody was like, "Oh!" But then I just kind of put my hands on it, bounced a little bit, and got back up. And people were like, "Did you just do the splits?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
They're like, "We didn't know you could do that." I'm like, "Not usually a skill I have to show
Yeah.
off, but
Neither did I. Yeah. Um,
so yeah, yeah.
okay, all right. Because I tore my I don't I believe it's my groin. I tore that, and that's horrible. Like there's
Yeah.
and it
Well, I
hasn't
mean,
hit
because
like it hasn't healed the right way ever again. Like look, I'm not an athlete by any stretch of the imagination. So like when I tore it playing flag football in the backyard, not like out on the football field, like I wasn't a trainer didn't tell me what was going on. I just had to
so
tough out the next week.
yeah, you tore it as a grown man,
Yeah,
not like
yeah.
as a
Tore it as a
teen.
grown man. Yes. Playing flag football, and I couldn't I know I was walking like Tim Conway and Carol Burnett show, that
Yeah,
little guy.
yeah, the
Yeah,
little
I walked like
shuffle.
that. Yeah, I walked like that for like a week. And to this day, if I'm trying to think, if I were to spread my legs out and move side to side, I'd
Mm-hmm.
feel this pull on this side of on my left side. I feel this little pull like
Yeah,
this has healed incredibly tight now. It will not
yeah.
give. So, but yeah, it's a painful thing. So I can't, yeah, it's
There,
no fun.
we
Hey,
when we
real
were
quick before
doing
you go,
splits.
Greg, real
Yeah.
quick, if you guys can hit the like or subscribe button, we would appreciate. We got 5 on right now. That's
Oh yeah.
fantastic. Welcome. Join the chat room. Greg and I are talking about football. Go for
When
it.
we, as I say, when I was in martial arts, because the instructor would be like, "We want you to be able to do the full splits by the time you get to black belt level." So he would he'd say stretch out as much as you can, and then he would come by and he would grab our ankle and just inch it
Inch
farther and
it.
farther away, or he'd come down or he'd press on the small of our back to get us to go down further. And I remember and it was like I tried. You just breathing through it, just
Yeah.
he's like, "You sound like you're dying." I'm like, "I think I am,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah. Stretching is
this
not
is
fun
what we're doing."
sometimes. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. So preseason wise, I think we're good where we are. As long as I walk away with we look competent and nobody's severely
mhm.
injured, I'm good. I'm good. So yeah.
Well, on keeping with a little bit of athletics, did you watch any of the Olympics, John?
You know what? I actually did. I used to watch the Olympics all the time. I remember Michael Johnson. Remember that sprinter with the gold?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. Um, uh-oh, I think I'm gonna start lagging. It said my internet's unstable. Um,
Yeah, you're going back to yellow, but you're okay.
okay. Yeah, so I watched a couple of things, and the majority of what I watched was girls gymnastics. I can't get enough
Mm,
of I
small
love.
miles.
Yes, my God. Talk about the greatest of all time. She's 30
Mm-hmm.
years old. There's no way she should be even doing gymnastics
Not
at
quite,
that
but
age, at that level. So more power to her,
Mhm.
man. She's amazing. She's absolutely amazing. So I was very impressed with that. I do know that won, we got all the like we had the most medals.
Yeah, I was going to say we had in total 126 medals. China came in second with 91 medals, so we kind of ran away with it. Both China and the U.S. had 40 gold medals, and then the U.S. had 44 silver medals to China's 27, and 42 bronze medals to China's 24. So it went US, China, Japan, Australia, France, Netherlands, Great Britain, South Korea, Italy, and Germany rounding out the top 10. Um, because I had a lot of time on my hands.
Yeah,
Um, so like for the past 2 weeks, I was able to just kind of decompress. I don't think we talked a lot about this on the podcast, but my job was eliminated back in March. So I got laid off and I was looking for jobs for
right,
most of it. But
right.
I accepted a position. And so for the past 2 weeks, which is kind of the lead up to me starting this week,
Yeah,
um, I was like, oh, I don't have to get up and um, just apply. So
right.
I just took the time to decompress and I watched a lot of the Olympics. So I
Yeah.
watched a lot of it on Peacock.
Okay.
And yeah, Sean's right on it. In the comments, the gold zone, which was fantastic. They took the red zone model from the NFL network and applied that to the Olympics. So anytime something cool would happen, they'd have like the quad box up every once in a while,
Yeah.
or it would go from one screen to two events to three to at most four. But then whenever something cool was happening, they were going to cut over to that and show that to you. Or
That's awesome.
anytime it was a medal alert. So if a
Yeah.
medal was about to be won, they would cut over it. It was really cool. And there were some things I did watch all of, like I watched almost all of the judo. Um, so it was cool. I watched a lot of boxing. So Peacock had it in spades. Anything you wanted to watch
Yes.
complete of, you could. If you just want to do the gold zone, you could do that. Um, so I watched a lot.
Hey, I
And
do want to also shout out to Sean. Let's give some love to the women's basketball team. Only team to win 8 straight gold medals.
yeah.
Absolutely. I heard. Now, I'm not a huge basketball fan. In terms of what I mean by basketball fan is I'm not a basketball connoisseur to where I can see a play developing or things like that.
Mhm.
But I heard that the women's college basketball team put on a clinic of how to pass perfectly.
You mean the Olympic basketball team? Yeah,
Yeah, they were
they
so
did.
good, I guess, at just I think out of 80% of their goals made were from assists,
Hmm.
not just the men's that would do ISO ball and go do their thing, but I heard they put on an absolute clinic on how to make that extra pass to the open
Yeah,
person. And so, but another shout out to women's in general. They got more gold medals than the men. So that's
yeah.
cool.
It was really cool to watch. We watched a lot of volleyball. The women's volleyball team, we were cued in on that. Like my kids wanted to watch that too. What else did we watch? I'm looking.
Hey, Greg,
Wrestling. Watch
was there a sport you didn't know was an Olympic sport?
that I didn't know.
Yeah, I found out one. I watched one. And I was like, I had no idea this was a sport. I'll go first. Trampoline.
Um, yeah, go ahead. No, I knew that was,
I did not
and it's
know that was a
weird, but
sport.
the new sport this year was breaking, like
What's
like
breaking?
break dancing,
Oh,
and
little pop and
it's
lock.
weird. Like it's not weird. Yeah, like so you're watching it and
Yeah.
it's a straight up dance battle. It is you versus another dancer or breaker, and the judges are like you go and then I go and then you go and then I go, and you get 3 rounds, and whoever wins goes to the next one. And yeah, Sean, I'm headed right there. There was a lady from Australia. Now, I can only assume, because it's the Olympics, you have to win multiple tournaments to get onto the Olympic team. So,
Yes.
so she's already a professional break dancer. By the way, she also holds a PhD in social events, like not like social events like gathering, but she is cued into the pulse of what's happening in the world. And she got her PhD in trying to follow that, like social trends and things.
Okay.
Um, I don't like you watch this woman who's in her 30s.
Can you
So
show
she's
it?
already
Can you show it?
I can try to find a couple. The memes that are coming up of this woman now are ridiculous because you're
Ridiculous, like
watching the
funny or offensive or
funny, but at the same time, you almost feel bad. You're like, how did you get on an Olympic team?
did she win or something? Who
No,
won
she
it?
was terrible.
Who
She was
goal?
terrible.
Who?
Who
She was terrible. I didn't know. I had no idea about
I'd
this.
have to look it up to see who won. I want to say it was a French person.
Okay.
But I'm looking too many things up right now. So let me um it is
Maybe I should just look
like
it up on
it's
my phone.
no
I
no no
just thought I thought it'd be fun for the podcast, but
no
if
it is
you're listening, if you guys want to watch, we stream
her
live on
her
Twitch
name
as
is
well as a YouTube channel.
Dr. Rachel Gunn is her name.
Okay.
And it is I'm trying to find like where I gotta find the memes, I gotta find the best video. Um so what she went out there and did, you're like, really? That's what you went with?
You remember
Uh
that funny thing that's on Instagram or it's out on the interwebs? That girl that goes, "Hi, I'm whatever, and I'm going to teach. I'm your hip hop dance instructor." And it's this white girl. Is that like that?
it's a little like that, yeah.
Oh no way! Fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, here's the POV of when it's time to do your work, but you lied on your resume is what it is. And I'm gonna
Okay.
have to share. Let me share all of the stuff. You can keep an eye
The chat.
on the chats for a second.
Yeah, no problem.
Share sound. And once that comes up, I'm gonna click this one.
Oh no.
They not like us. I took a pocket, took a pocket to roll. Hey, they not like us. I took a pocket to pay, take it for a hey.
I don't know what that is.
You a rapper, young whippersnapper. You ain't been through nothing. Have you ever had to leave the studio cause your sugar got low? I got gout in my pinky toe. Hey, did you hear what I said? I took a pocket to buy. I got gout in my pinky toe. You a rapper, young whippersnapper. You can't be.
Hip hop is this.
So here's
Yeah, you gonna rap, right? You gonna do it now, right?
Oh my gosh.
Can we get to say wiki, wiki, wiki again? Wiki, 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 yeah. Wiki, 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 wiki,
Wow. Okay. Enough said. Enough said. So that's so bad. That next one was so bad.
so the whole thing of like, maybe they should have one regular athlete in with the Olympians so that you can get a gauge of how compared to a normal person. I think that was the normal person because I watched what she was doing and I'm going, I think I could do that. Like
Yeah.
in my complete middle-aged, unfit, not stretched self, I think I could maybe do something. And so that's why I was like, because I know I can't do it.
So what did the winner look like? Was he like a really
She
good?
was fantastic.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
Yeah, like literally doing like the spinning handstand that would like literally stop in
From like
place.
breaking the movie
Oh, at least, yeah. I mean,
Turbo.
yeah, like really, really good. And yeah, you're like, what are you
It's gonna
doing?
be in LA. So I kind of feel bad for this girl. Like she's
Yeah,
trying her best. Like that's that one
and
person
that's
that's like,
why,
look, if you're brave enough to dance and look
right.
bad, like,
Again, she's got a PhD. She's like, this is probably not her full-time gig, but she made the Olympic team. You're going, how did you
Yeah.
get this far? Like, does Australia really not have that good of breakdancers that they're like, this is our best. Here you go.
I'm not
Um,
I'm not gonna lie. I probably would have used something like that as like a was it just girls or was it guys too?
no, there were, I think, yeah, there were guys. We didn't watch
Okay.
any of
I
them, but
totally would have
that's the
used
one.
that as a like, like if you're at a bar and you're 20 and like what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm the breaking Olympic team.
Yeah. Yeah. Um,
I had no idea that was a sport.
just weird. Other things that came out of the Olympics that I really did enjoy, the women's rugby team, like the American women's rugby team, just blew my mind. They were so fun to watch.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's Leona, Leona, is it Miller? I think her name is. She's a beast. I mean, and I mean that in the most positive, best way that I could.
Leona Miller?
I think,
Is that what you said?
I may be
I'll just put in
wrong.
I'll just put in women's USA rugby.
Meyer, Mahr is her last name. Um, she's hilarious. So like follow her on Instagram or any of the socials because she's putting out really cool stuff. Very body positive. But then yeah, just watching her run over people was just a joy to watch. I mean, it is
Yeah. Marissa
because
Meyer,
like
right?
no, not Marissa. Ilona.
Oh, I got her. I got her. I got her. Okay. All
Ilona
right.
Meyer.
Yeah, she looks like a rugby player. Yep.
And just fun to watch because we don't get those big hits anymore in the NFL because they've
No.
kind of changed that. Yeah, rugby still got 'em. So really about that. That was really cool to watch. Sean, yeah, the pole vault competition was
Yes.
cool, like multiple world records. Men's shot put, which I
think
again because
I think what Sean's getting at is the guy that got disqualified because his junk hit the pole.
there was that, but then there was also multiple world records broken
Really?
in the
How
pole
like
vault.
how
Yeah.
high? How high was the do we know?
20,
Anyone? Sean?
20 feet,
Anyone? 20
I
feet?
think. Like it was
Damn, that's a scary thing. Have you ever attempted that?
no, a pole vault? No.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I didn't know if like young,
Well,
you were goofing around with your friends or something, but
no. But just have you ever fallen 20 feet? Like, have you ever fallen 10 feet?
yeah.
Like, you lose control at some point. You're just like, and
Yeah,
these people
yeah.
are doing it on the regular.
Yeah, I'm a little I was it was 20 feet. Thank you, Sean. I was I remember seeing Jeff Speakman do it in The Perfect Weapon. You remember that
Oh,
movie?
yeah,
And I tried to
I
do
do.
that. Yeah. And I chickened the fuck out. I was like, no, I'm not doing this is scary. I'm not doing this. But did they have javelin?
Yeah, world record was set in javelin, men's javelin. The guy like came out of nowhere. He was a dark horse. The guy that was supposed to win or was the favorite to win,
Yeah.
because they get 5 tosses.
Okay.
He scratched 4 out of the 5. And so the one that he got in there, I think only got him like a silver or a bronze. But
Wow.
this guy came in from, I think, Afghanistan and just like, they're like, yeah, he's pretty good. And boom, and just amazing toss.
Wow.
And I mean, you watch it happen and you're like, that's world record because they have like an artificial
Yeah.
line like they
Yeah.
do with first downs. Like, here's
Yes.
the current gold, silver, bronze, and then here's the world record.
And he
And
said it.
boom,
Wow.
you're like, so yeah, it was again. I just Peacock did a really
Oh,
great
maybe
job.
you can help me with this. What's with the turkey assassin? The Turkish assassin, the guy that walked up in pistol shooting and he looked like he was just
Oh yeah, that dude. So the story I read
yeah.
and was this guy's like 56, 57, something like
Yeah.
that. He took up shooting a couple of years ago just to something to do with his kids. He's a divorced dad, was looking for something to do with his kids, and just started doing like Olympic style pistol shooting. And like they needed somebody for the team. And they're like, well, who do we got? Like, so they started calling around to shooting clubs. They're like, this guy's actually pretty good. So they call him like, you want to be on the Turkey British or the Turkey shooting team? He's like, okay. They gave him a t-shirt. So he's there in t-shirt and jeans. And when you're watching, like everybody's got all these like lenses
Yes,
and
yeah.
apparatus and all this stuff. And he's just there dead eyeing it like,
Yeah.
And it was couples, like it was a couple shooting. So you didn't hear anything much about his partner because I don't know if her story was like she was a lifelong shooter or whatever. But
Did he win anything? Do you
yeah,
know?
I believe they took gold.
Oh, he took
He-
gold.
the couples did, yeah. In
Okay,
his
so
event,
was it
they,
like everybody else does this? They have these things. I saw one
yeah,
weird one where a guy had arrested here and he was all like this
yeah, they
and
do like these
resting.
weird
Yeah.
contortions to lock their muscles in place so they don't move. And this guy
He
like
just walked down
he
like that.
walks up in a pair of jeans, like out of the stands, is just like, okay, Bubba, let's go get something. And like
That's
this
great.
Turkish redneck who just was killing it. And yeah, I
That's
mean, cool
awesome.
stories like that.
Yeah.
So
Some guy
yeah,
said
I really
I saw
enjoyed.
some meme that said I found John Wick's father.
Yeah.
Like
um yeah, just he was like totally
that's awesome. I like that.
just sitting there, like hands in his pocket, like barely even squared up or like the proper positions where
Just
everybody's doing like shooting science and he's like think and just
that's
kills it.
awesome. That's awesome.
So that
That
was
reminds
cool.
me of that movie. You remember Warrior with what was his name? Bane, the guy that played Bane.
Oh yeah.
How he walked in there, knocked the dude out, and walked out.
Yeah, very much kind of.
Yeah.
It seemed like that. It seemed like that kind of thing.
That's great.
The next Summer Olympics are going to be in LA.
Yes, I saw the commercial for it. Yeah.
So in the closing ceremony, they had Tom Cruise
Oh
do a
no.
he did a controlled descent. They're like, he's going to skydive in. I'm like, I don't think they're going to allow Tom Cruise to do that. No, he was hooked up to a big harness and jumped off the top of the whatever field center that it was called in France, and he did a and landed, grabs the Olympic flag, and he's like, "Okay, see y'all in Los Angeles," and took off on a motorcycle as he takes the
Oh, he
Olympic
didn't run?
flag to. No, he didn't sprint out of there. That probably would have been a thing, but so yeah, I mean that was the thing. I'm always interested because each new Olympics they get to bring in like their own sport. So like France brought in breaking,
Okay.
which means breaking probably won't be in the next Olympics. But I'm interested to see what LA brings in as like here's our sport
Yeah.
that we want people to compete in.
Skateboarding? Is that a sport?
That's already in there. Yeah, they
Surfing?
had
Surfing?
surfing was in there. They did it in
Okay.
French Polynesia.
All right. I don't those are the
So
only two things that I would think would be like LA.
yeah, I don't like
I
rollerblading. Maybe
yeah,
like was
I
that
don't
a?
yeah, I don't know. Oh,
I
synchronized
thought for
rollerblading?
sure. I thought France would bring in parkour because that's a
That would have been
traditional.
cool.
I mean that. I mean, and I've seen competitive parkour. It is pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. So have I.
So yeah, rolling a J that maybe could be. Um.
Rolling a J.
Yeah. So that was my Olympic stake. I enjoyed it. I think probably more than any other Olympics I ever was able to
Yeah.
watch because like I could watch the things that I want. I wasn't just locked into watching what the
Yeah.
networks wanted me to watch.
Right.
I could live stream whatever I wanted or just watch the Gold Zone.
That's
and
very
see
cool.
the good stuff.
Very cool. I guess
Um,
I missed out on that thing because I didn't like I watched it on Hulu and whatever they were showing on Hulu, I watched.
yeah, no, it's definitely like if you're not a Peacock subscriber,
Yeah.
by the next Olympics, get it.
Should be one, yeah.
Because it was
Yeah.
was
Gwen
cool.
was really into it. She was like, go, 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 like with like the track and field and things like
Those
that.
sprints were the sprints were fun
She
to
was
watch. We
she
saw a
was really
guy
into it.
who took the 200 come from behind and just gutting it out. Like you
Wow.
can see it out of like everybody's got the perfect form while they're running.
Yeah.
Here's this guy
Just trying as best he can.
yeah, and then he takes it. You're like, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Like it was cool. It was really cool.
Very cool. What were your views on that girl boxer?
Oh yeah, dipping into that. She was an Olympian, is an Olympian. She won gold. She tests. There's like the IBA, the International Boxing, is from what I've read, more corrupt than FIFA. Like it is ridiculous. And
Oh, is
so
it?
the test that she failed, where they said, nope, we took the test. She's got an X chromosome. She's disqualified. Now she was born female, raised female, identifies as a female. Like by all the people that have morality issues around trans folks, she still fits all of their definitions of a woman. It's just when they did this one test, which was only one test, by the way, that they said she failed. It's because that she was getting ready to kick the shit out of a Russian boxer,
Yeah.
and the test was done by a Russian testing facility.
Oh, interesting.
So there's all this like,
Yeah.
no, this was crooked. Like they didn't
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah.
And then
That's a
the
shame.
other woman, though there was
The one that quit?
was it a No, a Japanese boxer, who was also disqualified in the same competition that
Yes.
she was disqualified for the same test, saying that she has an X chromosome. She was about to fight a Chinese boxer, and China and Russia were like heading up this competition. So it's really weird.
Yeah.
I feel really bad for the woman that won, because like she's competing in her sport. By the way, she was Algerian.
Yes.
Algeria is super conservative, like
Yep.
super. They never would have sent her if they were
If she was trans.
not at
Yeah,
all. Like
yeah,
she
yeah.
wouldn't. She would barely be allowed to live in that country.
I thought that was
Like,
much to do about nothing. What actually
Yeah.
struck me more than that girl was the girl, she hit a girl
Yeah, she
and
hit
that
an Italian
girl
boxer.
quit.
Was
Like-
done. She's like, I can't take those
So
shots.
what I was thinking about more was, imagine, Greg, for 4 years you're training your ass off and
Yeah.
you're at your pinnacle of your sport, and then you get right in the head and you go, all right, I'm done. Like,
Yeah.
you know how hard that hit had to be for that girl to just go, 4 years of training?
Yeah, she
Never
said
mind.
it was the hardest hit that she ever took in
Yeah,
her entire career.
That's I thought to myself, like, wow, like I can't believe, like, I mean, that's incredible. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah, it was. I mean, and I was in support of the Algerian boxer, and like people on my Facebook page were coming at me like, "What do you think?" I'm like, "No, she's a woman, like
Yeah.
by every definition." Like,
well, I read I think you're the one that sent it to me, or you're the one that sent it. Wasn't it Michael Phelps has a genetic disorder where he doesn't produce as much lactic acid as the next athlete.
yeah,
So he
yeah.
can go longer,
hmm
before that burn. And if anybody doesn't know what lactic acid is, if you've worked really hard or you've just gone out and done a sprint and stuff starts burning, like your legs start burning, that's lactic
Mhm.
acid.
Yeah.
According to this genetic disorder, Michael Phelps doesn't get it until, I'm guessing, if I were to get it in 15 minutes, he'd get it in 30.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to, but
No, but no one ever questioned his
Yeah.
ability.
Yeah,
or
nobody ever
his-
questioned,
his-
yeah.
because he's genetically now gifted.
yes.
So should he be allowed to compete? Of course he should.
Yeah.
Like
There was
this woman has more muscle mass than your average female. That's not her fault.
right.
In fact, for her profession, it's a good thing. So
I always thought that I don't know if I've ever taught, like, they had the CrossFit competitions, right? They do that every year, CrossFit games, things like that. And I always wondered, they had this one champion named Rich Froning where he never seemed to get tired. And I always
Yeah.
thought, I wonder if he doesn't build lactic acid like everybody else does in these fucking things, and he's just going because he's not feeling what they're feeling. So
Mhm.
I always wondered that.
John made a good point where Michael Phelps also a white dude, so a lot of people aren't going to get that upset about
Yeah.
a white dude being genetically
white?
gifted. Phelps,
Yeah.
Michael Phelps,
I'm kidding.
you're the swimmer. Oh,
I don't see
sorry.
color, Greg. I don't see color. I see friendship.
You should see color because that's part of what people are.
I know.
But that's a good point. I mean, and it's a political election year, so everybody's just looking for something to be enraged about, and that happened to be what it was this week.
Yes, that is
or
true.
what it was last week, and now we moved on to other things.
Right.
So anyway,
All right.
Final thing to talk about, or you
Yeah.
got something else?
No, go for it. Go.
So Comic-Con happened. We're switching gears to nerd stuff. Comic-Con happened. Gen Con happened, and now there's another thing called D23. D23 is the Disney convention where it's all things Disney. They talk about new expansions to the parks. They talk about new film projects, new movie projects, and things like that. So,
Has our
you
friend
know,
ever gone to that?
our friend
Mark.
D23, I don't think so.
No. Okay.
I don't think so
That seems
because
like something
it's held in
right up
Anaheim.
his alley.
I'm surprised your sister hasn't gone. Is she?
My God, you're right. I bet you no, she has not. She would have told me, but no, yeah, I don't know why. Something's wrong, Kim. You better
Well,
give me a call.
it's in Anaheim, so I mean Southern California. I mean they don't hold it in like a bigger venue like San Diego.
Yeah.
So a lot of what came out was, things that they had already talked about in terms of like Marvel. So we covered that in the Comic-Con. But one thing they talked about a lot of other projects that they got coming out. And okay, skip the ad. Come on.
That's true, Sean. I think that's where we're going.
Yeah, lots of sequels. That is exactly where we're going because it's to me it's ridiculous. Like we got Inside Out 2, Moana 2, and I'm just getting pop-ups all over the place.
So real quick,
Moana,
wanted to
yeah,
let's start there for a second. First off, one of my all-time favorite movies for Disney is Moana.
it's great. Yeah,
I
it's a
think
great
it's a
movie.
fantastic movie. Anytime my
Mhm.
daughter has it on, I will stop and watch whatever scene's going on. I am so I was sitting, me and Ursula were sitting, we were watching the last episode of The Bear, and it went to a commercial. And I
Mhm.
said, Ursula, I need to talk to you about something that's really bothering me. And she's expecting this horrible, like,
Big marriage blow up.
yeah, something. And I go, I'm really scared Moana 2 is gonna fuck it up.
I don't want it to be
And
bad.
that totally reminded me of that meme. You just see that where that girl goes, I bet you he's thinking about sex, and the
Yeah,
guy's thinking about like kung fu moves or something.
yeah, really.
Yeah. But that's totally what that reminded me of. But anyway, like I don't want to see him Moana 2. Like I just feel
So,
like they're gonna ruin it.
well, and it's possible. It
Yeah.
really is. I mean, they're making Moana almost look like she's now an action star a little bit.
Yeah.
Might take away a little bit of her charm. So we'll see. I've got one other thing. I've got a thing I'm going to share. This really sums up a lot of my feelings about D23. So here's this guy.
Zootopia 2, Moana 2, Frozen 3, Incredibles 3, Toy Story 5. Can we have something new, please? Fine. Here's a girl. She's a robot beaver, okay? Never mind. That's what I thought. Avatar 3. Zootopia.
That's really it. I mean, it's a bunch of
Incredibles
sequels.
3. I didn't know that though.
Incredibles 3. Yeah.
I didn't know.
Don't know what the story's going to be.
Okay,
but
so they just announced it.
yeah,
There's
they
not a trailer
announced-
or nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope. There was a logo. Incredibles, I mean, all this stuff. And they're like, you got anything original? We wrote a story about a girl whose consciousness gets transferred into a robot beaver so she can live like a beaver. Fucking what? I mean, just
Was that for real?
that's for real.
Oh,
Yeah.
no way.
But
That's the original idea.
that's the original idea because there is another rock project called Monster Jam, which is taking Monster Jam, the monster truck rally,
Yeah.
and turning it into a movie. I don't know what they're doing there, but it's weird.
Wow.
Let me find the beaver thing.
Is that I didn't know that was a thing. I thought that guy was just trying to be funny.
No, it is a real
Wow.
like even they have a thing called Dream Productions,
Okay.
but that's an Inside Out spinoff where we go into Riley's brain, the part of her brain that produces dreams.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that's still a spinoff though. Win, lose.
So This is a really dumb question. Is
Yep.
this our friend Sean? Or is it this is
Oh
Sean,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
it's well, I think it DPS. That might that's I think Marshall's brother.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Um, win lose.
It's my brother. Okay. Thank you. All right.
Yeah, I cannot find the. Oh, here it is. Here's the still shot we got.
No, I'm not into Spawn. I don't know why. I saw the movie. I read a couple of comic books. Cousin Clay, he wrote on the chat. Did you guys talk about Spawn movie announcement? No, I'm not. I'm
One.
not. Oh
Here's the.
God, this is real.
Yep, that's it. Here's the
Oh,
girl. Her brain gets transferred into a robot beaver.
oh my
Okay.
God. What's it called?
Um,
Nice Beaver?
probably not. Uh,
Wow.
beavers. I don't know. I don't know. I. But that's like their original piece. And you know what? It's Disney. It's Pixar. It might still be great. Um, but in a sea of sequels, it's ridiculous.
Does
And
anybody
yes,
even
it's
care about Avatar? Does anybody care about that?
I don't like Fire and Ash. Like I don't know. I know some people like my oldest daughter is kind of excited about it, but at the same time, really, um,
The Angry Beaver.
the girl is going to make a beaver dam. Well, that's the other thing. I mean, how many beaver jokes are gonna be
Oh my
that
God. I mean,
story?
this
Like, are
movie's
you
in
kidding
trouble
me?
already. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
we could do a podcast on what we would call this movie.
Let me take a look here.
That's hilarious.
What,
I
I'm
can't
gonna look
believe
up this.
that's actually frighteningly not cool. Like that's their best idea. That's original. Everything else is what more can we put these characters into?
The latest I got here is like as of July 2024, King Spawn, a reboot of the Spawn movie based on the Image Comics character, is expected to be released in 2025. Okay. I know Jason Blum is. Oh yeah, there is Jason Blum confirmed a 2025 So it's a Blumhouse, which is already a step in the right direction. But this thing's been in development forever.
Okay, okay, okay.
So,
Yeah.
and I know Cousin Clay's a big Spawn fan because I sold him all my Spawn comics once upon a time. Um,
Ah,
but we'll see. We'll see what it does. I mean, like it's like for me, another Spawn movie is like the next Blade movie. I'm not holding my breath. Um, like
yeah, that's a
I'll
good
believe
point.
it when I see it.
Or you know what I guess I'm worried about is that the next Spawn movie is gonna look like the next Hellboy movie,
I
which
was gonna
scares the
say,
shit out of me.
I know Todd McFarlane's been working on this for a while. Like
Yes.
he's really and he's involved and he wants to make it a good movie. We'll see. Like I don't know. I don't know. I
The
don't have a lot of
HBO
trust.
animated film animated
And the animated
series
series was good.
that was good. I
Um,
didn't mind that. Yeah.
we'll see. I mean,
Yeah.
again, with any comic project now, I mean,
Yeah.
the best thing that's going for it is that it's a Blumhouse, and they've made some really great stuff. They made some other things that have just been okay. I think the Purge franchise they should
Purged it.
close out. Yeah, they purged it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but that's
Yeah.
where I'm at. That's where I'm at
Okay.
with that.
I agree. I agree. Yeah. Um, I think we're coming up on that time of polyjammery, man. You got something?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I do. The ever growing playlist of the
Bye
polyjammery
bye
playlist.
bye. No,
Um,
we're not
yeah,
doing
not
that.
today.
Not
Not
today.
today. No bye today.
Bye bye bye.
Um, let me move that over here. We'll do that thing. Uh, this to there. Well, should I do that? I will do. I do have something. Because I've just started throwing things in the list So when I don't have anything, I just shared the link for anybody in our chat that cares to follow that. Feel free to follow the playlist and go ahead and send me your recommendations, like Sean just did. Baby Metal Electric Cowboy collab. Oh yeah, I'll check that out. I like Baby Metal. You've got some
Baby metal? What's baby metal? What is that?
Baby Metal. Baby Metal is a Asian metal band.
Oh, it's a group.
It's a group. I've
I
played
thought it
them
was a
for you,
genre.
but
I thought it was a
no,
genre. Okay.
I've played them for you before, and the look on your face was this.
Okay.
So
That sounds
it
about
was very
right.
confused. Like
Sounds
it
about
wasn't. It sounds like, you know, tiny Asian women singing metal.
Oh my God, that's in a movie. That's in
Yes.
a movie.
Yeah, they've been in there, but the
God,
metal
what
is
movie?
good.
Oh,
and their
that's
voices
in
are
Blade
good.
2 or Blade 1.
Yeah, yeah.
Where he
they were
goes
there.
in this,
Yep.
it's like dummy, dummy, dummy,
Yeah,
like that.
yep.
Oh God, Jesus.
But some of it's like "Give Me Chocolate" and was one of their, I think, best songs. But anyway, so I came across Allie Gertz. She's a singer, and she did a whole album of Nine Inch Nails covers. So some people may call this sacrilegious, and they don't want to hear it, but you know what? It's my show, and I'm going to share it anyway. So here we go. This is her cover of "Closer." It's very mellow.
You let me violate you.
Oh,
You let me desecrate you. You let me penetrate you.
yeah. All right, I like this girl.
You let me complicate you. Help me, I broke apart my insides. Help
Natalie
me, I
Imbruglia
got no
style
soul to
singing
sell.
Yes,
Nine Inch Nails.
Nine Inch Nails.
Help me, the only thing that works for
I
me.
actually like it.
It's not bad.
Help
I mean,
me get
I don't mind
away
it.
from myself. I wanna fuck you like an animal.
as you know,
I
Yeah.
feel you from the inside.
and she's got a
Man.
whole album of it. A whole album of it.
A whole album of her just singing Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah, it's 15 tracks. And I
Title song for the Beaver movie. Well done, Marshall. Well done, Marshall. Very nice. Well done, sir.
perfect.
Tip of the cap to you.
Uh
That was good. That was good. I don't think we should end it any other way than that.
I will put Baby Metal. We'll do Baby Metal on the next show.
Oh,
So come on
can't
back and
wait.
listen to some.
Can't wait. Can't wait. For those of you that are missing the live version, remember we do have this on all of our available podcast platforms as well as our YouTube channel, so you can see our handsome faces. Greg, why don't you take us out?
Yeah, summer's winding down. We're getting to the part where some of the movies coming out of the theaters you may be excited about, maybe you're not. They're the ones that they weren't sure were going to be good. I've heard to definitely avoid Borderlands, unfortunately. But Aliens is still coming out. Some good things out there. Plenty of fun things to do left in the summer. But while you're out there seeing people, just remember, don't be a douche.
There you go. For the Greg and Johnny saying today is Play in the Sand Day. That's the National Day. So
Okay.
anyway, yeah. So that's it. Take care. Have a great week. Podcast out, everyone.
My whole existence is flawed. You get me closer to God.
And we out.